Hey guys, what is up? My name is Sakila and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future content that I create. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big ol' thumbs up. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a great day. So y'all already read the title. Today we are going to be talking about 3 tips on how to have an amazing semester in college, because you guys know here on this channel we are all about living for Christ and living our best lives. Okay, so let me grab my handy dandy notebook here and let's begin the video. Okay, so the first tip that I have for y'all is to get organized. So I know that all of us are not the best at organization. Some people it comes naturally. Some of us we have to work a little bit harder at it. And if I were to put myself into one category, I would say that I can be organized, but I specifically have to work hard at being organized. I have to be a little bit more intentional about it. So one of the reasons that this is my first tip for y'all is because I really believe if you are not organized, if you're just kind of all over the place, kind of winging it, it just leads to more stress. At least I can speak for myself personally. When I'm not organized, when I don't have my things mapped out, it just leads to more stress and more anxiety. And we already have enough stress and anxiety being in college, so we don't want to add to that. So make sure you get organized in some way. Some tips I have for y'all regarding that would be to get a planner or at least get a notebook so that you can just map out your tasks for the week. I know we're all different, so you just find out the best organization strategy that works for you. For me personally, I used to have a planner when I was in middle school, high school, but now I actually really don't use a planner. I just use a little notebook, and that works for me personally. So basically what I do every week, I just look at all my tasks for the week. So I look at my syllabus, I look at my schedule that is on my syllabus, and I just write out, okay, so for health class or whatever, just as an example, I have this due Tuesday, then I have that group project due Thursday, and I just go through each one of my classes and map out what I have due for each class that week. So that works for me. So figure out the best organization strategy that works for you. I just feel like it's good to be organized in some way, shape, or form. Okay, moving right along. Okay, and also side note, y'all, make sure you read your syllabus, because you can't map out what you have to do if you have no idea kind of what's going on. So make sure you take some time to read through your syllabus so you can understand what you have due, what your professor's expectations are, and just so you can get all that knowledge that you need. So can't stress this enough. Make sure you take some time to read your syllabus. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, so I know a lot of us have heard this since we've probably been in school, but my next tip for y'all is to not procrastinate. I know that all of us can be a little bit guilty of this, of just putting things off a little bit till the next hour or the next day or whatever. But y'all, don't do it. Don't procrastinate. I know it's so tempting to do, but really when you think about it, if you procrastinate and you put things off, you're just saving more work for yourself to do later and saving more stress for yourself too. And so like I said, we already have kind of enough stressful things going on with us with just being in college. So we don't want to add more stress to ourselves by waiting to do something to the last minute. So don't procrastinate, and I have some specific tips on how you guys can avoid procrastination. So my first tip for y'all, would be to have a goal of how much homework / study time you want to do a day. So this is a tip that I use myself personally that really works for me. And so I know we all have busy, kind of crazy lives, but try to figure out a certain amount of time that you can devote to try to do your homework every single day. Whether that be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, just whatever time you have. Try to map out to set aside a specific amount of time to do your homework / study time every day. Also, another kind of like side tip is, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but there's this thing called tiny habits, which is basically where you set a really small, very attainable goal for yourself. So if you're one of those people who just, it seems like every single day you cannot find time to sit down and do your homework / studying, I feel like this will be a good tip for you. So basically you just set a really small goal. So let's say like every day you're going to do your homework for 5 minutes. And realistically, it takes longer than probably 5 minutes a day to do your homework / studying. But let's say you do 5 minutes, something that like no matter what you can meet that goal, because I feel like no matter what, everyone has at least 5 minutes in their day. Statistics show that if you set that small goal for 5 minutes just to get the ball rolling, you will go longer than the 5 minutes. So you may start off with, okay, I'm going to do my homework for 5 minutes, and then you end up going 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever. So just setting a small goal for yourself really helps to just get the ball rolling. And then statistics show that I think 80% of people, a decent amount of people, will go longer than like that 5 minutes or whatever that small goal is that you set for yourself. So try the tiny habits. Okay, what other procrastination tips do I have for y'all? Okay, so my other tip is to set a time frame. So let's say from 4 to 7 every day, you're going to do your homework / studying. So definitely like set a specific time frame for yourself, just because I feel like that kind of alerts your mind to, okay, like it's 4 o'clock, it's time for me to sit down and like do my homework / studying. I know we all have kind of like crazy schedules, so if you have the time in your schedule to set aside a specific time frame, I feel like that would be very helpful. And I was gonna say something else too. Oh yeah, something I really like for me personally is I really like to use timers. So like, okay, let's say I'm gonna do my homework at 4 o'clock. So maybe every day I would set a timer, okay, like 4 o'clock, like do your homework / studying. Just because I feel like it's nice to have like a physical reminder that, okay, like it's time for me to like do my homework. So that's another tip that has helped me as well. Okay. Yeah, I wrote quite a bit underneath the procrastination category. But my next tip for y'all is to, I know I've said this on this channel before, but I just feel like it's really helpful, is to do your homework in chunks. So statistics also show that the best way to do your homework / studying is in usually 20 to 50 minute chunks, then with like a 5 to 15 minute break in between. So I feel like this is very helpful. It's been very helpful for me personally, just because I feel like before I learned about this, I would just sit there and like try to do my homework in long time frames. So like 4-6 hours or whatever. And when you think about that, that can be like really exhausting. Even after you've done your homework for like an hour, 2 hours, that can be kind of like tiring. And so I feel like it's also more easy to like fall into bad habits if you don't have like a specific time of like how long you're going to do your homework and how long you're going to have your break. So let's say you do your homework for like an hour, 2 hours, and then you want to take a break. So you like get on YouTube or like whatever, and you don't set like a specific time for how long you're going to take. A 5 minute, if you don't set a specific time, it's easy for like a 5-minute break to become like a 50-minute break. And so, you know, we don't want that. We want to be efficient. So statistics have shown that the best way to be efficient with doing your homework / studying is doing it in, like I said, 20 to 50 minutes of doing your homework, then taking about a 5 to 15-minute break. Okay. And so I also have some tips and some ideas for different things you can do with your breaks. I guess I also want to say is like, don't knock the importance of taking a break. Because I feel like I said, in my past, I used to just sit there, like go through my homework, and then I really wouldn't take a lot of time to like take a break. Or if I would like take a break, and then it would be like, I would take way too long of a break than I should have. So here's some ideas of like some little things that you can do in your maybe 5 to 15 minute break. So for some, like sitting in silence, because after you've used your brain so much to just like do your homework, some people just want some time just to lie there or sit there and just kind of like let your brain kind of like roam and like run free. I know that works for a lot of people, and I like doing that sometimes. I wouldn't say I do that all the time, but sometimes that can be a nice break for a lot of people. This here is probably has become one of my personal favorites, and that is listening to a song or two. I really enjoy doing that just because I feel like it's something I don't like don't get overly caught up in. So speaking of that, my other tip or my other idea would also be like watching a quick YouTube video, because I know that can be enjoyable for a lot of people too. And that's something that I like to do as well, like maybe take 5 to 15 minutes and just like be on my phone or like be on YouTube. But the thing about that is, I know in this day and age, a lot of us are really caught up with social media, YouTube, or like whatever. So it's easy sometimes to get overly caught up in those things. So like for me personally, I can't do that, I feel like, as much for my break anymore. Because if I like take some time to be on like YouTube or like whatever, sometimes I'll like get overly caught up in like watching videos, and then before I know it, I've like gone way past like the 15-minute break that I've had for myself. So I personally can't do that. So whatever it is you personally feel like you get caught up in, you may not want to do that for your break. That's why I like the songs, because I feel like it is really pleasurable to like listen to like a fun song or like whatever song, like a calming song, whatever vibe I'm feeling that day, and just listen to like a song or two, because I feel like it's something I don't get overly caught up in. I'm not like, oh, I'm 10 songs in now, like not really. It's just like I can listen to one song, maybe two, and then like I feel like I'm kind of okay and ready to get back usually and doing my homework / studying. So figure out what works best for you. Okay, here we go. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is make sure in the midst of all this, you make time for fun. You guys are young, y'all are in college, so make sure you make some time to just make some memories, go out with your friends, and make sure you make some time to have fun. Because yes, college is about preparing for your future career, and you want to do well in your classes, but also make sure you don't forget about having fun as well. So some ideas I have for y'all is, okay, so if y'all know anything about me or have watched my past videos, y'all know that I love lists. I'm about lists. So I would say make a list of all the fun things that you want to do before the semester is over. I've said it before on this channel, if you just keep it in your mind, you might be less inclined to actually do those things. If you're like, oh, that would be fun, I really want to do this, I really want to do that, but you don't physically put it on paper or on your phone or wherever it is that you like to write your list, you might be less inclined to do it. So make sure you make a physical list of all the fun things you maybe want to do in the semester. So when it comes to those fun things, I would say really look into like what your school hosts. I know for me personally, my school is always putting on like fun events for their students, whether it's a karaoke night, a movie night, or whatever. And I've honestly had like a lot of really fun memories going to those things at my school. So make sure you take some time to look at what your school is putting on. Okay, yeah. And also, I know we're not all big sports people, but I really like sporting events. So I'd maybe take some time to go to a basketball game or a football game with your friends. That's something that's been really fun for me. I'm hoping to go to hopefully a couple basketball games pretty soon. I haven't went to any yet, but I know it's basketball season, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, and then also, I would say that this one has become a big one for me, and that is to explore what your college town has to offer. I feel like for the longest time, like I didn't know all the cool things that were around me in my college town because I didn't take the time to like look around and like explore what was around me. That was literally like just right there, maybe like 5 minutes up the road. So really take some time to explore where you're at, like go downtown, look at the shops, you might be surprised by all the really cool, amazing things that your town has to offer. So definitely take some time to do that. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you please give it a big ol' thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you like my content, you enjoy this video, you've maybe watched some of my other videos and you like what I'm doing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you share this video with a friend as well. And until next time, I love you guys. Remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Until next time, bye.